Hi there, welcome back again. Today I'm working on a short project. I'm going to make a lattice to go up the side of my arbor for my clematis to climb to the top. I've been planning on making this lattice for a month now. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it from wood or steel. I decided yesterday to make it from steel. This project has become a higher priority because the temperatures here are starting to rise into the 80s in the afternoons and things are growing quite a bit faster now. My clematis is no exception. I'm excited to see it grow and cover the arbor. This lattice work will be the structure for the clematis to work its way to the top. The first thing I needed to do was get the measurements for the side of the arbor. I'm going to make the lattice from 1-inch steel flats and 3/8 inch square bar. This is material that I have left over from past projects. It's going to work out perfect for this purpose. I'm going to make the lattice 29.5 inches wide and 75 inches tall. The 1-inch flats will be screwed into the 6x4 posts. The 1-inch flats will run the length 75 inches and the 3/8 square bar will be the cross members. I got my workspace set up in my garage. I store my steel on top of a sturdy shelving unit. I pulled the pieces I needed onto my welding table and got them ready for measuring, cutting, and layout. I got the 1-inch flats cut first. I cut them to 75 inches long. Next, I measured and cut one length of the 3/8 inch square bar at 29.5 inches. I then used this piece to measure and cut the remaining 6 lengths that I needed to complete the lattice. After completing the cuts, I got my pieces laid out on the welding table. I set the 3/8 inch square bar at 10 inches apart through the span of the 1-inch flats. I use a carpenter speed square to get the cross members square to the 1-inch flats. When I was satisfied the cross members were square, I clamped them in place. When all the pieces were clamped in place, I tack welded the cross members to the 1-inch flats. Then I squared up 3/8 inch square bar scrap pieces and welded them up the length through the center of the lattice. This will give the clematis more structure to grow to. After completing all the welds, I set up the lattice on some sawhorses ready for painting. I had a partial can of black spray paint, so I used that to paint the lattice. All the materials for this project were left over from other projects, so the cost was zero. That's always a good thing. I finished painting the lattice and let it dry. While waiting for it to dry, I completed the voiceover narration for this video out in my backyard. You can hear some of the birds, even a lawnmower and a blower or two in the background. I used deck screws to fix the lattice to the 4x6 posts on the arbor. I drilled the holes in the 1-inch flats before I painted it. It was simple and easy work to connect the lattice to the arbor. It will also be easy to remove it when it needs painting again. I'll probably repaint it for Christmas to match the Christmas decorations we put up. You know, red and green. I hung the lattice in just a few minutes. It's not going to hold any weight, so no need for anything more than deck screws to hold it on to the arbor. It looks pretty good. I like simple. It will be covered in clematis soon, hopefully, so no need for anything fancy because we won't see it anyway through the clematis vine. I have 2 clematis growing in the ground at the base of the arbor, and I have another 4 in a black container. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to transplant the potted ones into the ground I'll put them in some decorative pots at the base of the arbor. That finishes this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, please give it a like. If you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions for the arbor, please leave them in the comments and consider subscribing to follow me on my backyard garden progress.